Only on Christ 17 TV. Back at you with another one. Now this is a fucked up story, and you know how I always say everybody who can have kids shouldn't be allowed to have kids because they don't know how to take care of kids, mistreat kids, and have kids either dying or they're just living in terrible conditions. And it's just not right because the baby is never asked to be on this earth. So you bring a child into this earth, take care of your baby. You can't give your baby up for adoption, family, somebody who can take care of the baby right. Because for the shit that's going on these days, makes no sense. So let me stop running my mouth and check out this.
South Linwood Avenue was described by police as deplorable and uninhabitable.
Steve Mailing spoke with neighbors and police today about the case and the disturbing scenes of what was going on just next door.
Well, Randy Brienne, if you spoke with the neighbors of those arrested, you'd think the home here on Evansville's south side was just like any other. The situation, however, was anything but. We do want to warn you, you may find some of the details in this story to be disturbing.
They're good people.
They have always been nice. They have always been cool. I've always seen her take care of that baby.
If you spoke to people living on South Linwood Avenue, they would tell you their neighbors were good people. That's because they had no reason to believe otherwise.
They take good care of their kids. I'm always seeing them loading food in the house.
But everything was not as it seemed.
People can put up a front, or maybe you just don't know them well enough, or behind closed doors there's things going on.
And there were. Police made their way out to the home on South Linwood for a medic run.
The only reason why we even knew about it was because the dad woke up and the baby was covered in blood. And that was our first involvement. We should have been involved. Someone should have picked up the phone and called us prior to that.
Inside of the home, police say, were deplorable conditions. An affidavit cited feces on the floor, rats in the home, and trash scattered about. That affidavit was for 3 people arrested in connection to the severe neglect of a 6-month-old. Parents David and Angel Shaunabaum and Delana Thurman, Angel's sister.
Did you hear how severe the injuries were to the 6-month-old?
No.
Police believe that a rat mice bit the skin off of the fingers of the child.
Oh my God.
The child almost actually died. Was rushed to Riley's Children in Indy.
I didn't know about the fingers. She told me that his face was disfigured.
Yeah, they believe that he was bitten a little over 50 times. Neighbor Teresa Favors didn't know how bad it was until we spoke with her.
How does a child get bit over 50 times and nobody knows that the child is bit?
Would you have ever suspected something like that to happen here?
No.
In the affidavit, police say the family was already under investigation by the Department of Child Services. The last home visit, September 9th. That was from a home-based therapy company called Maglinger Home Services. We reached out to the DCS to attempt to understand how the situation could have gone on for months. They told us they couldn't comment on the case. EPD Sergeant Anna Gray says it's one of the worst child neglect cases she's seen in her decades on the force.
It's really hard to see that, and it's really hard sometimes to just maintain composure and be professional.
As for the accused, they face multiple charges of child neglect, a case so bad it nearly killed a baby who couldn't defend itself.
Any forms of neglect, no, none shown, none of that. I've never seen it 50 times.
Well, the other 4 children in the home have been placed in another home. We will be staying on top of this case as it continues to unfold, and we'll update you each step of the way.
That is some sick ass shit. And how does CPS come out there September 9th, today's the 25th, that's 2 weeks ago. So if that shit was filled with rats and trash, how come they didn't get the baby out of there then? How come they didn't get all the kids out of there then? That's what I want to know. That's the first thing. If you under investigation and you come in a house that's filled with trash and they got rats and mice, how is you leaving the little kid in there? If you're CPS, you failed that child. First of all, that's the first thing off the rip. CPS failed, and whoever did that inspection should be fucking fired immediately. So, if that baby was taken out of there, because obviously the baby wasn't harmed on September 9th. But if there was trash all over the crib, mice and rats, you should have took the baby and them kids out that place. So, with that being said, whoever's the parent or the adults there, how the fuck you have a 6-month-old baby getting attacked by rats and over 50 times taking the skin off his fingers, deforming his face? Where did you have the baby, at the fucking floor? Or these rats are just attacking this kid, and where is everybody at? Getting high? They gotta be getting high. They gotta be getting high if you leaving a baby alone to get fucking attacked by rats, bit over 50 times. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what they do to dead bodies. They just eat at the flesh. And you're gonna let this little 6-month-old baby who can't defend itself not one bit, who can only just lay there, maybe turn around at that, but these rats are eating the baby alive, tearing the skin off the baby's fingers. That is the most fucked up thing I've heard in a minute, and I've heard a lot of fucked up things. Them parents, everybody in that house held accountable for this shit, because how the fuck do you not see that? How do you not see that? And don't every neighbor say the same thing? Oh yeah, they seem like great people and great folks. Yeah, that's on the outside of that front door, but what they do on the inside is a whole different thing where motherfuckers can't see. What's in the dark must come to light, and it came to light, and it's a sad sight to see. Poor baby almost died from rat bites. 50 fucking rat bites on an infant. Can you imagine that shit? Cause I can. And them motherfuckers should be dealt with accordingly. You letting that happen to this baby? Why didn't you give up the baby for adoption? Drop it off at the fire station, something. If you're gonna not attend to the child, and you're probably getting high as fuck off probably meth, because you look like some meth heads, and you letting that shit just like. But the CPS, you should be fired immediately. If you went into that house and there wasn't 100 red flags where you should have got them kids up out of there, and there was 4 more kids, and how old were those kids to not see what's going on with the baby? It's just too much bullshit in this whole little case here, and I find this very sickening that an infant is attacked by rats and bit over 50 times and almost kills the baby from rat bites, tearing the skin off the baby's fingers, deforming his face. Can you imagine what kind of pain that baby was going through while that baby couldn't even defend itself, couldn't even move, couldn't even get up and walk away or run away? That's heartbreaking, man. That's sad as fuck. But these motherfuckers don't give a damn about no fucking kids. They too busy getting high and not watching the baby. So if they not watching that baby, they not watching the other 4 kids at all. Like I said, people that have kids that are physically able to have kids, not most of them, some of them shouldn't be allowed to have kids. Because this is the type of shit that happens when you have kids. You don't watch your kids. You don't give a shit that a baby almost dies. And 50 rat bites, I couldn't imagine getting bit by a rat one time, let alone 50 fucking bites from how many different rats we don't know. But tearing the skin off the kid's fingers, deforming his face from rat bites, that's gotta be extremely painful for a 6-month-old baby to endure. And these motherfuckers just don't even see what's going on. How do you not see this kid getting like fucked up? How often do you check on a 6-month-old kid? Every 2-3 days? Do you feed it? Do you change the baby? Do you do anything? That's fucking disturbing. And CPS should be shot with shit. You should be fired immediately. You gotta take some of this blame, because this shit could have been prevented. September 9th to September 24th is 2 weeks. Extra day. But come on. I know that house was not spick and span 2 weeks back if it's filled with mice and rats. That shit just don't happen overnight. That's a time process. You get a couple mice, you start getting a lot of mice, you start getting rats. That means your shit been dirty for months. And you got nobody to say shit. None of these kids, none of these adults, nobody sees shit. So the baby damn near dies from rat bites. You gotta get rabies shots, but this is a 6-month-old baby with already tearing off the skin from his face and fingers. A deformed face means the rats were attacking his face too. That's all that means. And that's some sick ass shit. These motherfuckers shouldn't be allowed to have kids. And they better not give them kids back to them motherfuckers. Take all them kids and put them kids somewhere else. Cause them motherfuckers there, they don't know how to take care of no fucking kids. You know them kids ain't gonna eat right, ain't taking showers or baths. If there's trash all through the house and rats and mice, it gotta be a hell to live in. I've lived in some fucked up spots. And in the Bronx, they got rats, and I've seen rats even inside the apartment. But for it to be rats biting a baby multiple times, not multiple, but 50 fucking times where the kid almost dies, that's out of fucking control, and something need to be done. And I don't know, but I just feel so bad for the baby, for the other kids that had to live in that horror fucking house with rats, mice, trash fucking everywhere, probably not getting fed, not going to school, not doing homework, probably going to school in dirty ass clothes. Because people like that, they don't take showers. They don't clean up their house. They don't cook. They don't do shit. Once they be on that drug, that meth, you can forget about it. That's the only thing they see. Tunnel vision. Getting high all night, all day, every fucking day, being up for 7, 8, 9 days at a time. Not even worrying about you got a fucking kid here in the house. A baby, 4 kids and a fucking infant. None of those kids should be returned to nobody in that fucking house. At all. Get them kids into a good home where they can go to school, be in a clean house, eat, shower, do your homework like regular kids. Not in some fucking slum house where it's fucking rats and roaches and mice and fucking trash and probably molded food, probably fast food bags fucking everywhere, just disgusting. That shit is out of this world, out of pocket. With that being said, man, this Christ 17, and that shit is bullshit. That shit is straight fucking bullshit. And for anybody who works for the CPS that can come in that house and leave that house and not say that they need to take those kids, you should be fucking fired. You should absolutely be fucking fired right now like this at a snap of a finger, and you should feel like some of that shit is your fault. You could have saved that baby. You went in that house and it was looking like that. You should have right then and there, hey, we gotta hike these kids. It's unfit, it's unsafe, it's unhumane. But no, you walk out because who knows why? Why do you work for child services if you're not gonna protect the children? You just getting a check, you just wanted to go in there, look, peek, see it's all fucked up, but not even seeing what's really going on? Do your fucking job, because you just cost a baby face deformed, skin off the fingers, and who knows if that baby will ever be the same. Who fucking knows? I do know one thing, that everybody from the CPS motherfucker to the 3 adults, one should be fired, the other 3 should be dealt with. But I do know the one main thing is get them kids away from those people. Those people should be not around no kids, period. They should treat them motherfuckers like they treat sex offenders. You can't be around kids. You can't be around kids. Because you let this little baby almost get fucking killed by rats. And it's in the same house. It's like that you left that kid you left that kid unattended. It sounds like for days. That's what it sounds like. If you didn't notice his fingers, his face, and then when you did, the baby was covered in blood by the time you called, man, you should be shot with shit, man. You should be shot with shit. I ain't gonna lie, that shit is disturbing and out of fucking pocket. Every fucking day, son, about a kid. If it's not a kid getting shot, it's shit like this. I'm talking about this is fucking inhumane what's happening to that baby. Poor child, but it's Christ 17, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment, share my videos, man. But this is the type of shit that's going on in America every day in different cities around this bitch. So stay prayed up and keep your head on a swivel, man, because out here, nothing is nice. Nothing is nice, man. Catch you on the flip side. Christ 17 TV, I'll be back at you. And if I hear any updates about the baby, I will definitely do another story on my channel. Hopefully the baby pulls through. Everything is cool, but who knows? 6 months, 50 rat bites, that's a tough one, man. But that's how it is out here in the streets. Nobody's giving a fuck about these kids. How can a CPS worker walk into a house and leave that baby in there with the conditions that house was in? It didn't just get like that overnight. I'm telling you that. That's a fucking fact. It didn't get like that overnight. The CPS worker immediately should have removed all the children, and that's that. But no, you go back, and now what happens now? The baby's in the hospital and critical because nobody said shit, and that's a fucked up thing for the baby. That's what your job is, to make sure kids are not in unfit homes. But what'd you do? You walked in there, you looked around, and fucking left. That's on you too, CPS worker, and you should be fired immediately. You shouldn't be in charge of if fucking kids is, because you didn't give a flying fuck, and that's a fact. That's a fact. This shit could have been maybe stopped if you would have walked in there and did your damn job instead of not doing your damn job. Now we got a baby in critical. That's on you, man. And them 3 adults. Shame on all 4 of y'all, man. Shame on y'all, man. Shame on y'all.